All right. Hello, and welcome everyone. Thank you again for the opportunity. I think we have everyone on board. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for the opportunity to provide this workshop on strategic foresight for your organization. AY Appliance. I have worked with AY Appliance Company in the past and certainly appreciate the trusted opportunity to engage with you and also have your CEO, Mr. Afolabi, with us today. As we dive into this topic of strategic foresight, my intention really here is that by the end of this presentation, you and your fellow group leaders will have a better understanding as to what strategic foresight is, be able to use at least one tool that I'll illustrate to frame what exactly future strategic direction you would like to pursue, and actually consider ideas of the current versus perhaps future state of your business model to better position the company for industry change. Most of you know me. Again, my name is Rafaro Mendes Viza. But for those who don't, I am a consultant at Venture Inc. and also a Doctor of Strategic Leadership candidate with the School of Business and Leadership at Regent University. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, with a little bit of insight, having worked with you all early in the year, I think that was back in April. Again, it's a privilege to be here. So some of the learning outcomes that we're going to tackle, we're going to define what strategic foresight actually is, so that you truly understand the value and its use case. Kind of what the difference is with that. Most of the times people end up using strategic foresight interchangeably with strategic planning, but there are differences. I'll also introduce a tool called the Futures Wheel. And the Futures Wheel is very useful. It's very practical. I'll provide an example, and then we'll actually do a collaborative quick activity just so you can actually see its applicability right away. And speaking of that, specifically tagging that onto AY Appliances business model within the home appliance industry, and also some of the services that you are looking to get into in the smart home tech sector. So we'll wrap up with key takeaways so that we can summarize that and kind of reinforce the learning. So I really appreciate that in what you'll gain in this presentation. Again, this session aims to equip you with the knowledge and skills to anticipate future changes and make better decisions in the future. A little bit of ground rules and housekeeping before we get started. Before we jump into the strategic foresight presentation, I really encourage everyone to be open-minded. Again, leaders kind of find strategic foresight to be a foreign topic, as it is a little bit different from traditional strategic planning. So I do encourage, just keeping an open mind. I do ask for your attention, to be attentive. We have a lot to cover in a short amount of time in this workshop. So we definitely want to ensure that we make the most out of your group's time. Feel free to ask any questions. I know most presenters ask you to hold questions until the end, but please feel free to stop me at any time and you can ask a question. I do want to keep this very much like a conversational style. I don't want it to feel like a lecture. I want you to feel at ease and comfortable to work through all the topics and the activity that we'll go through. So please do feel free to engage in conversation. Please remember to be respectful of other people's thoughts. We value everyone's thoughts in diversity of thought. And also want to make sure we remind everyone that everything that will be discussed here will be confidential, as this is for AY Appliance. We do have an NDA in place with your organization. So as a company workshop, all information is treated with the utmost confidentiality and is disclosed. And as disclosed in the beginning, I am a student at Regent University, so only my professor will see these presentation slides. As a consultant working with many small businesses and presenting on a variety of strategic leadership topics, I do find it best to emphasize these ground rules so that we all experience an engaging collaborative workshop. These ground rules can help ensure that everyone feels heard and respected and that the session stays focused on and productive. Remember, the goal of strategic foresight is to anticipate future changes and make better decisions in the present to the best of our ability. When we have more information up front, our plans are really more concise. We know all the variables, but as we continue to go into the future, things get very blurry. So that's kind of the domain that we're going to work through today. Certainly appreciate everyone's engagement and commitment to this process.